Hello.
guys.
Hello.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Aris. How are you today?
I'm a little bit sleepy because it's the morning. We are recording in the morning. I tried to bring my coffee. I know you hadn't have a coffee, so we are both a little bit like
No.
dying.
Yeah, there's nothing going on here right now. It's empty. So I hope I get better throughout the episode. Let's see.
You guys know our struggle because here we're always talking about how hard it is to get coffee here.
Yeah.
Instead of espresso, it's just like so we cannot even order one if we forget to take one at home. It's like we are doomed.
Yeah, completely doomed. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to push it through
Hopefully
because
we get energized throughout the episode.
yeah, I think we will because it's a very interesting theme today.
Oh, the mystery theme.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but on the last episode, we got the mystery theme on the pink ball. That means that we asked you guys what do you want us to talk about. And we asked you. And yeah.
And you guys picked one.
You guys picked one. I think it was very easy for us to pick because it was like everyone was asking for the same thing. Which is, do you want to?
You guys always asking for the same thing.
Yeah.
We're trying to stay away a little bit from this topic for a while so we can talk about other stuff about our personality other than our job. But you guys.
You guys are like, please talk about the journey of being an influencer, the secrets of being an influencer, whatever. And yeah, you guys really want us to talk about that. So
Hi, this is Iris,
and this is Sophia,
and you're listening to Undressed.
We didn't plan this episode as much as we planned the other ones.
Yeah, we're just gonna open our mouths and let it flow.
Hopefully this works. Hopefully we will be relevant for you guys, and maybe we will help you out if you want to start doing the same thing as us.
So yeah, it's gonna be all about content creation, how we started, and secret things that people don't know, good things, bad things. We're gonna touch on everything regarding being an influencer, which is a term that I hate, by the way.
Yeah,
So we can all start there. Do you hate it?
I hate it, but it is what it is. Everyone uses it now, so
Yeah.
I prefer like content creator as
Same.
well. I think it's a bit like negatively.
Exactly. That's why I don't
connected.
like it because I feel a lot of prejudice comes from that term, and people are like so mean with this job, and I don't see people being mean towards other jobs as much. And I don't know where this come from. I don't know if it is because everyone has social media accounts. So
probably.
maybe people are like, how are these people gaining money doing the same thing that I do every day? Maybe that's the case where all this frustration comes from because people usually are really mean and a lot of jokes like, just trying to be an influencer. Or, look at me, I'm an influencer. Yeah. I see it everywhere.
I think it's because people think that it's easy and that we make more money than certain jobs that are harder.
That's true.
I think that. I think a lot of people get frustrated and they just let out the anger on the influencers. But like,
there's so many jobs like that.
Yeah.
You see with sports and all, with football, it's not that it's easy. Of course, you need to have talent. Also, like being a painter, or but you can also compare with like people that are building houses, which is very physical and it's very tough. So there's been so many jobs like that throughout the years, and I never seen this kind of hate.
Yeah.
With football, they are venerated, and they earn so much more money than us.
Yeah. I think we are seen as like vain people, like more narcissistic, and I don't know.
And suddenly, if you create a side gig, like you're an influencer, but you own a brand or something, suddenly it also makes it okay. Suddenly, you start being venerated. It's like if you're only a content creator, people look at you like you have like an empty brain. But if you do something else, then suddenly you're smart, or it's okay to gain money. But if you're just an influencer or content creator, suddenly you're like, I don't know. Probably because it's very new, people are still getting used to it. But yeah, I still face that kind of prejudice. You too?
For sure.
Yeah.
On the last episode, I don't know if you remember, but I'm gonna drag a girl here.
Ooh.
So we were talking about unpopular opinions,
Yeah.
and we asked you guys for unpopular opinions.
Oh, I can see
And
what's coming.
yeah, and this girl sent me an unpopular opinion of her. Her unpopular opinion was influencers should be eradicated.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, why do you follow me then if you have that opinion? I went to check my conversation with her, and I had like a stories of me where you could see like my face, whatever. And she was like, please post a makeup tutorial and like
No
loads of
way.
hearts. And I was like, what the hell?
What the
Like,
hell?
what do you want from me then? Like, I remember her name. I know she's been mean to me before, like probably in comments.
Leaving mean
Yeah.
comments.
So she 100% follows me to give me hate.
Who hates influencer that much that wants them to be eradicated from this earth?
Yeah, that's the
but
thing.
also goes and comments on an influencer page on a story that leaves like a box for you to leave things. She takes the time to go
Yeah.
and write stuff because you asked there on your stories, and she took the time
Yeah.
to write influencers should be eradicated. So of course she's a little obsessed. And usually it's like that. I don't get much hate, luckily. But the few times that I did, it's always like that. If you go check the messages, it's always, or if you reply, they're
Yeah.
like, no, sorry, you took the wrong way. I love your content. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But I thought I should tell you that.
Yeah.
It's always like that.
They feel like we owe them something and that they should tell us like things that you wouldn't tell a friend or someone on a street. Like, would you go to someone in the street and be like, oh, you look awful, like you shouldn't be wearing that.
Yeah.
But then you're all comfortable doing that, like on social media.
Exactly. Or like, oh, I used to love your content. Now I hate it. Like, what the hell?
Okay.
Just unfollow.
Yeah, and follow.
Right? Yeah.
Like, do you think I'm going to change because of your message?
Exactly.
And why? Yeah, I had one like that recently too. She was like, oh, I liked your content so much better before. Like, you wouldn't do your makeup. You were so much more natural, blah, blah, blah. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she has her own demons and maybe she just doesn't like makeup and I don't know. Somehow she stopped relating to me and that's fine. Just like unfollow me. Do you want me to stop doing my makeup and stop like bleaching my hair to make it like better? I don't know. It's just so stupid.
I think that's also the problem here is because our job is so related to our own person. We are ourselves there and putting ourselves out there. So obviously, if it was another job, just imagine, I don't know, airline company, and you fly using KLM or whatever. If you're unhappy with something, you go and you write to KLM saying, oh, I used to love your flights before. Now I don't like him anymore. Everything is so dirty. But you're talking with a company. In here, I feel like people still want to show that they are unhappy with what they are seeing because it's still a job. At the same time, it kind of hurts our feelings because we are human beings behind it. We are not a company, only at least a company. So
yeah, but some people are like, oh, if you don't want to get that hate, then don't be on the internet.
Yeah, true. That's why we keep doing it, even if hate comes with it. But yeah, it's part of the job, I guess.
But I don't think it's a free pass to like the same thing with celebrities. Like everyone's always saying, oh, if they don't want this to happen, like they should be expecting this hate, they should be expecting this backlash because they're on the spotlight.
Yeah.
But it's not a free pass to like be a dick.
It is, and I think it comes with a job. So of course, like even the celebrities, I think if you ask them, probably most of them, if they still want to get hate but do what they do, they might just choose do what they do if it comes with hate. But at the same time, I just think people still get their feelings hurt either way because we are all humans and it hurts to hear those words. And the human brain, it focuses more on the bad.
On the negative, yeah.
We have like tons of good comments every day, so we usually take them for granted, right? That's the honest truth. We are used to seeing the hearts, the heart eye emoji. Oh, I love your content. I love this outfit. And then suddenly there's one there that says like, you look fucking ugly with those shoes.
Yeah.
And then your brain is like, this bitch.
Yeah. It's like almost like you believe it more. Like, oh, this is the one that it's right and the other ones are bad. But like, why?
True.
Doesn't make sense.
But on the day-to-day, even if you don't have like a job like this, it's the same, right? So you're with your friends all the time and everyone's saying good stuff. So suddenly one of your friends say something.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
it would hurt you.
Attacking you in some way, and suddenly your brain only focuses on that. So I think it's the same. That's how we all behave. But for us, it's involved in our job.
Mm-hmm.
But all jobs have a little bit of this. I think even if you work at a company, there's always like shady people trying to bring you down in some way. So
for sure,
I think it's mostly the same.
For sure, yeah. So
what else?
How do you start it?
How do I? Oh my God, I don't even remember. You know, the thing about this is that you don't even remember. I remember working at a company before for I think a year and a half. And back then I was posting like everyone that has an Instagram. I was posting, but I always loved fashion. My degree was in fashion, and I was working in fashion back then in a company. So I love my outfits. I remember going to the company
all extra
because that's who I was. Like even in college, I always dressed like I wanted to. And I remember going to the company because it was like a fashion company. So I came in and everyone was wearing like freaking suits. Like it was all men inside, mostly wearing suits. And I was like, where am I? And everyone was so judgy. But I didn't care. I still dressed the way I wanted to. So I took some pictures, I think maybe because like all these men in suits are going to see my outfits and they don't appreciate. So maybe I'm going to post them online. Yeah. And I posted and started posting a lot of also selfies back then because I love makeup. So, and it was Tumblr era. Yeah. Because I'm an old person. And I love Tumblr. I wish it came back. Tumblr. Still miss it. It was a big source of inspiration back then, even for work. I used to use Tumblr. So I was posting on Tumblr as well. And I remember my first viral picture was in Tumblr. Because I posted a selfie. And a funny story, my boyfriend, he knew that I love to post things, and sometimes we talked in privately like all these girls like being now famous for the pictures. I wish my pictures like came viral or something, because I felt like I could do it, you know. I felt like I had like the creativity to do it, to be like on the same spot as these girls. So I always talked about that. And he went to a big Tumblr page back then that shared content from other people. And she sent like a private message saying, my girlfriend is really pretty. Yeah. And she has dope pictures. If you want to share something from her, here's her Tumblr. And the girl posted the message plus my picture. And it went viral.
That's so cute.
That's cute, yeah. And that brought me a lot of Instagram followers back then because they were connected, Tumblr and Instagram. But yeah, it wasn't all because that picture.
Of course.
I think people sometimes have that misconception that you need one viral thing.
No.
It doesn't. Even now, it doesn't work.
No,
we have viral
I
content sometimes, and it's not. It helps, but it doesn't make you.
No, it's like constant work. Constant work. And that's the thing. Yeah, first rule. If you want to be an influencer, like it's gonna have ups and downs for sure. And you have to be like constantly working. And I don't think some people have constant growth, I think.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that you suck.
And it also changes every time. I think in the beginning it was more constant, the growth on Instagram, for example, and on TikTok too in the beginning.
Yeah, sure.
And when it becomes to be oversaturated with people, like the platform, it starts not being like this, and it's more like steps. You have 100 followers, and you're there. You're stuck, and then you need something a little bit more viral to go to 101 or 102, and it's like steps all the way. And sometimes you go down as well. So
yeah, sometimes you can go down, and that's fine. Like I think the main thing also is that you enjoy doing it, because
for sure.
if you just do it to become,
For the numbers.
yeah, for the numbers and for whatever you think that money can bring you, or whatever, I don't think it's gonna be natural, and it's not gonna work very well. I don't know, maybe it does for some people.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people that go for the numbers grow quicker
Mm-hmm.
because these people are really focused on growing, and I think that's nothing
Yeah.
wrong to it. It's just different kinds of content
Mm-hmm.
creator. But I think us both can't advise you on that because we are not
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I heard, I remember watching this podcast with Mr. Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And he is very driven by the numbers, so he studies very hard the algorithm.
Like the algorithm, yeah.
So that's almost like a different job, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because we started doing it for the content, and I feel like if everything went down, followers-wise, we would still be posting and still be
we
very
would still be
interested.
posting like on Pinterest, maybe. I don't know. We would still be going out and shooting outfits. Yeah, because
Exactly.
I just couldn't live without making outfits.
And maybe those type of content creators are more like for the hype, and if it all went down, maybe they thought like, I'm gonna start a new channel, this will be faster to grow. The thought process is a little different, but I don't think it's nothing wrong. It's just different approaches.
I remember when Reels started being huge, everyone was like, oh, I'm just gonna post. Not everyone. Some people were like, I'm just going to stop posting pictures and only posting Reels.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't wrap my head around that because I love taking pictures. But I remember some people were saying, oh, but you're not going to grow, so I'm going to do Reels. Eventually, we also started to do Reels. It also grew on us, but we could never just commit to doing video. I don't think so. Like, we are big
picture
lovers. Yeah.
But yeah, that's also part of it. Growing with the platform because it's always changing, so we are
being
always
able
adapting.
to adapt.
That's another advice that I have. Probably parents are gonna hate me for this one, but I'm very against all the degrees, like master degrees and degrees that are appearing now, social media related or social media marketing related, or even content creator. I saw some like other content creators doing this lectures and all on how to be a content creator to others, and they were paid. I'm very against that, just because it's always evolving. So we can do some tips like we are doing now, but there's not much we can really teach because we are learning every day.
Yeah, of course.
So how are you gonna sit like for 1 or 2 years talking about social media? I remember having marketing classes about social media when I was in college, and the things that I learned there are
already
so
outdated.
different.
No, I remember.
Actually, I had a teacher, and he was very like young, and he was very into the social media thing. So back then, I learned what was on at that moment. So I was lucky. But the thing is, now I'm a content creator, and it's very different from what I learned back then.
Yeah,
even the amount for post and who was on top, everything changes so quickly. So it's not worth it. It's not, if it involves money, I don't think it's worth it.
No, me neither. Yeah. You just really have to be on the apps constantly. Yeah. That's the thing. That's also the other thing. I think actually for Instagram, I don't think you need to be on it as much. But for TikTok, I don't think you'll be able to grow on it if you're not on it.
True.
And to me, that was the hardest part of like getting on TikTok. And like, because you really need to scroll and to be there and to spend hours to be able to
know what's
remotely understand TikTok in the first place. Yeah. I think so. And then after understanding it, you need to still be on it constantly, because one thing that is trending today, you won't be trending like in 3 days. So it's like crazy. I think it's crazy.
It is. TikTok is harder, I believe.
TikTok is harder. But at the same time, I think that it's easier maybe to become a content creator there, because I don't think that followers are as relevant on TikTok as they are on other platforms.
Yeah, for you to get like maybe paid stuff.
Yeah.
On sponsors, you might not need as many followers as on Instagram. But at the same time, like the biggest people on TikTok are just like the biggest people on TikTok, right?
Yeah,
It's
of
always
course.
like that. And I believe it was so much easier to grow there in the beginning. So it was a time frame where it was very crucial for people to be there. And that time frame, there were people that grew into 1 million in like
months.
months.
Yeah.
And the content they were doing back then, right now, is not like you don't see anyone doing dances barely.
No.
You see some dancers actually dancing, but those dances are long gone now.
Long
it's so
gone.
funny.
I feel like now it's only like 90% of TikTok are memes. And I've never thought of saying this, but Reels and TikTok are becoming one.
It is.
And it's so funny because in the beginning, people were like dragging Reels. They're like, oh, Reels are like old TikToks. You're not on TikTok, but you're on Reels. And now, like, they're the same thing. I've said it here.
Yeah. I was that person. And I still hate that Instagram tries to bring down every other platform.
App,
It was like with Snapchat, and they managed to do it. Some people use it, but like with Be Real is that
but
now.
Be Real is that. Oh my God, this is so funny. I deleted the app yesterday.
Really? It's that. I'm sorry.
I just don't use it anymore.
The hierarchy of social media, the thing that you can grow on, eventually work with, it didn't have that thing. It was more like for friends. And I thought that was cool. But at the same time, of course, if it doesn't have like big people on it, it's eventually gonna die because everything is a trend, and we're still are run from like influences.
Yeah.
So of course, it was that in just a short amount of time.
I mean, maybe some people still use it with their friends, and maybe they'll use it every day.
It's that from a point of view of like trends, is that.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that it can happen with TikTok, unfortunately. I see Reels growing, and I don't know, people don't want to see both things twice, right? So if you scroll a lot on Instagram and you're flooded with videos, do you really feel the need to, after that, go
to the TikTok? Yeah.
Or maybe Insta's gonna die. Like, one of them must be killed.
I don't know. Because in the beginning, it was like, oh, TikTok is for fun and Reels are for aesthetic videos. But now, to be honest, I don't see aesthetic videos on TikTok.
Yeah, me
I don't
neither.
think
that hurts a little
they
because
do well.
I love aesthetic videos.
I don't think they do well.
I barely see like fashion TikTok.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
And on Reels, it's still there.
It is, but it's not like as popular as
it was. Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe they will become one, like TikTok and Reels.
See, it's always like a question mark in our heads. Even if we do this 24/7, we don't know like what's gonna happen.
That's
so
true.
We're
because
always adapting.
I don't know. We're in May now. I think that in January, if we had this conversation, it would be different already.
For sure.
I think Reels will still be super aesthetic. TikTok will still, So a lot can happen in like months. So I don't know. It's really hard to predict.
And also, I think we should touch on how it works.
How it works, yeah, for sure.
Because people are very curious, like where the money comes from. I always, whenever I do Q&A, there's always at least one person that asks me, how you make money?
How do you make money as an influencer?
Yeah, do you have a job? It's always that question, like, in this time and age, don't you know how it works? Maybe people don't know because there's not much info, so we should touch on that.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I get that question a lot, even from family, friends. They don't understand it. So yeah, I think should we split it from like within apps? Because I think every app is a bit different.
We can start with Instagram and just explain like the different kinds of ways you can make money.
Yeah. So I think the most obvious one is maybe you are contacted by a brand. They either have a budget or they ask you for your rate, either for a post, for an Instagram story, for a reel. And they tell you what they want already. Like, okay, we want you to style these pair of shoes. Like, how much is it for a post, right?
Yeah.
Or we want you to do a reels with 5 different outfits. How much would that be? and then you discuss that with the brand. Usually there's a contract after that, right?
Yeah.
After you come to an agreement, there's a contract, and then the brand just sends you the stuff, and usually you have a certain amount of time to create the content. You send the content back for them to approve, and they can either like it or not. Maybe sometimes you have to reshoot.
That's awful.
Yeah, it happens a lot, guys. You have no idea. And
I think mainly something that you guys might not know is that on YouTube, for example, you can get paid for the amount of views because you have ads on it. But on Instagram, there's no source of money other than contracts and brands. Outside one.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what brand. It can be for us like fashion or beauty, but to other content creators might be tech or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But brands are paying influencers on Instagram. That's the main thing. There's no other way.
Yeah. So if you
Instagram.
see us posting a post without anything tagged, we're not making money out of it.
Exactly.
But if we post Get Ready With Me on YouTube without any brand tagged, or even if we do tag brands, and like that doesn't mean that they're paying us, and we are still getting money because of the ads from YouTube.
On Instagram, you have a lot of things you can ask money for. So you have posts, like pictures, that has a price, and if it's a carousel post, it has another price, because now we have that option. Before it was only a picture. Then we have stories. Stories get also a price, and the number of frames of the story. You have reels, which is now the most expensive one from all the Instagram things, because video is always more expensive.
Yeah. And usually reels is like maybe you're gonna use more than one outfit.
Exactly.
So it's more time consuming, I think.
And it gets to be viral more quickly, or has a bigger chance of going viral than pictures. So Reels is the most expensive one. You also can have a quote on a narrate for having the link in your bio, which people might not know, or having the link in a story. That's also a price. And after all this, you can also have a price for usage.
Yeah.
Which sometimes people forget. And it's important, because even if a brand pays you for like a post and you post on your page, it doesn't give them the freedom to use your picture however they want. Imagine just putting up on a store or something. If they want to do that or share your content for like 2 years, you should have a rate for usage, like copyright purpose. Yeah, I think that covers all for Instagram, right? And also, I don't know if this was the same for you, but in the beginning, unless you grow very quickly, brands won't come for you directly.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I used to be very much of a hustler, and I would DM the brands.
Me too.
Saying like, hi, I love your brand, would love to work with you. And usually it starts with gifting, which we still do gifting now, which is something we can also explain. Difference between gifting and a sponsored post is with gifting, you do content just in exchange for the clothes. And we only do it now since the platform is big. We only do it now if you really want the clothes.
Yeah.
But back then, everyone, I think, starts when you're small. Everyone starts with gifting. And then you can show results to the brand. And if they like, maybe for the second time, you can try to get a little money for it, saying, I would love to work with you again. But since it's our second time, I would love to get a budget attached to this, maybe like $50, $100, something like that to start.
That's how I started too. Yeah. I think now people are more aware of how much they can earn and how much they can ask. And I feel like now influencers aren't taking as much advantage as we were. Because I think because I think we were, for sure. Like I remember I had already 300k followers, and I would still be doing lots of things for free. And that's insane nowadays. That's insane. Because nowadays I know that people with 20k already ask for money for a post.
Yeah, like good money.
Or even with 10k. I don't know.
we really wanted to grow the platform, right? But now brands are really choosing to work with
smaller content creators.
creators, so they can use the same amount of money to have content from like 10 different creators, where if they pay maybe someone like us or even bigger, they would spend that budget on 1-2 influencers. So yeah, it's not easy. It's not like a magic formula where like you'll get all the money when you get to this, because it's always changing. Back then, it wasn't a trend to work with small influencers.
No,
it was
for
very
sure
in the
not.
beginning, so the big ones were getting everything.
And I think what brands are also feeling maybe is that maybe they can get a bigger engagement with smaller ones, like that.
True.
That their followers are more loyal and
if you think about it, the chance, like we were saying, the chance to go viral on TikTok, for example, is almost the same, because it's so filled. The platform is flooded with people, so the chance to go viral, it can bring someone to go viral for one video, even if they don't have any followers. So having a lot of followers on TikTok, it doesn't grant you like the chance to go viral. So
no, for sure not.
It's almost the same. They can pay less to a smaller influencer and
maybe the same views. Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe they're gonna get the same views. So yeah.
So I understand. Actually, of course, it's a little bad for us because we are in that. I don't know. I think now we are not considered a small influencer anymore. So not very profitable for us, this new trend of working with smaller influencers, but I understand.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think there's space for everyone.
Sure.
I really think that if you guys want to start doing this, you shouldn't get like discouraged because it's so saturated. I think there's always gonna go. So yeah.
And
that's
it's
another
always changing. Maybe there's a new app tomorrow that is like the perfect timing for you to get in.
Yeah.
So be open-minded, and I feel if you're creative and if you want to do stuff, it's not gonna block you. None of that, because we were doing it like there were so many apps before this. They just didn't get the content creator thing back then. But we had Tumblr, we had DeviantArt. I don't know if you remember. Had MySpace. All these apps had a lot of creative people doing content back then. It wasn't just that term of influencer. It wasn't created yet, but there was a lot. So it's always going to be. If you want to do it, you'll be uploading.
Yeah, for sure.
YouTube is also great. We can break down YouTube, how it works.
I actually never worked with any brand on YouTube, so you can talk about that.
So maybe you can discuss the other part of YouTube where you can gain money without brands.
You can just gain money. Yeah. So with YouTube, once you get to a certain amount of hours watched, where your videos are watched, or a certain amount of followers, which I think is 10K. 1K? I
think it's 1K now.
1K. You can start adding ads to your videos. After that, you are just gonna link your bank account to YouTube, and at the end of the month, YouTube just pays you what you got from all your reviews.
Which is very small. Let's start there.
It's very small.
Yeah, it's a tiny, tiny, tiny amount for views. And it depends on the type of content. So if your content is very friendly, like family friendly, you will earn more than someone who talks about, I don't know, wars or adult subjects. So that still gets in between you and your money. It's not like the same for everyone. Because the ads are linked to your, just imagine if you have like a content that is family friendly or for kids, the ads that are gonna play there is gonna be ads for kids and brands that have more money. Well, if you talk about adult stuff, adult companies doesn't have that money, or there's not as much of them. So yeah, that it's not a fixed amount you can think of. It depends on your channel. And it's very small. So, of course, if you're starting, it's going to be barely nothing. But if you're like PewDiePie or Mr. Beast, you're going to be freaking rich.
You're going to be freaking rich. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's good because it's like almost passive income. Of course, you're putting the content out there, but everyone is putting the content out there. So I would love for Instagram to work like this. That's why I love YouTube, because if you eventually grow, you have that amazing passive income going to your account.
Yeah, that's true. Because the views keep getting higher, like the
Yeah.
video is there, people are still gonna watch it, even though you posted it like 2 years ago if necessary. And yeah, the money is still gonna
Go there.
keep going. So yeah,
It's amazing, YouTube.
YouTube is nice.
Love you, YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can also work with brands on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
It's the same thing, but like Instagram, but for video. And inside a video, you can charge for like a dedicated video where you talk, just imagine a shampoo. And the full video is going to be about hair. You're going to do your routine. In the end, you're going to show results. You're going to talk about the shampoo a couple of times. That's a dedicated video. You also have the integrated one, which is where you talk about a product or a brand for just a few seconds or a few minutes. That's an integrated one, which is cheaper than a dedicated.
Yeah.
But it's what we see mostly on YouTube. You see YouTubers stop the video and say, let's talk about our sponsor, VPN.
Yeah.
You need a VPN. That's the most common. So yeah, that's another way to earn money on YouTube. And I think now there's also another option, which is with the live streams on YouTube. I think people can pay you almost like Twitch.
Oh, okay.
I think people can send you like tokens or whatever.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You can go ahead with TikTok.
So TikTok is actually similar to YouTube in America, right? I think you get paid just for the views.
Yeah, I think American UK has started to...
UK also?
I think
Really?
UK too.
Oh.
I don't know how it works because we don't have it here. But I heard that they have like this program similar to YouTube where you can gain for money for like the views, which must be great, but we don't have it here.
Yeah, we don't have it here. And then besides that, you just get paid like for a TikTok as you are for Reels. It's actually the same thing. Actually, we are getting a lot of deals that now include both, like, oh, you need to make a reel and then mirror it on TikTok or vice versa.
It's a little bit annoying.
Yeah, it's a little bit annoying because sometimes something that works on one platform doesn't work on the other one, as we were talking about.
Because it's the same content, so you do it once and
Yeah.
it has an extra fee to be mirrored on another platform. So that part is good.
Yeah.
Less work,
That's
more
true.
money.
Oh, and you can also make money with affiliated links.
Yeah,
We don't use that as much.
we don't.
But a lot of people use that a lot, which is when you see people on your stories or even on TikTok, like a lot of people on their bio have like their Amazon storefront and stuff like that. And if you click on it, like for instance, if you're seeing a story of someone and they're like, click to shop my link, sometimes it's affiliated and they earn a certain amount of the sales, the total sales that comes from
like
that
a
link.
percentage. Yeah, sometimes I've been told that we were being a little dumb not to use it because there's a lot of people gaining a lot of money through affiliate links. For me, every time that I tried it, although I made some money with it, I thought it was more work than the work that I put on.
It was not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because you need to, I don't know, just be there putting everything that you wear and then put it on your stories. I don't know. But yeah, it's another way to do it. And for that one, it's even easier if you're starting. I saw a lot of people on Pinterest that don't even take pictures of themselves, just share content from others, but they add like a shopping link and it might be profitable for them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because now I think lots of people are getting a lot of money from Pinterest as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads of ways, guys, of earning money, and
there's
ways
like,
we don't know about
exactly,
for sure.
like Twitch and other. I know they are so big doing live stream now, and I'm away from that, so I don't know. I would love to get into that, but I don't know how it works. But I know it brings a lot of money.
Yeah,
I catch it on TikTok. People like saying how much they earn on stream, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What else? We can also talk about the fact that you can have an agency or not. And we took a long time to go to an agency. Let's start there.
We did. I even more than you.
Yeah.
I took so long because I'm a control freak when it comes to... I think it's when it comes to my work and my money. Because besides that, I actually enjoy having help, and I think it's always good to have like someone that knows more helping you. But when it came to this, it was really hard for me to let go of the control of my email. So up until I don't know if it's almost, was it a year? I don't know when I joined my agency, but
I think it was more than a year now.
more
Time
than a
is
year
flying
now.
by.
Yeah, it was after the pandemic. So yeah, I think I only joined September 2021, and I already had like a whole ass platform working for me. And I at the time I remember I needed like a day at home per week to reply to all the emails, to read through the contracts, to send all the contact, to like negotiate with the agents, whatever. But I think what really made me join an agency was one contract that went bad.
Yeah, I remember that.
And yeah, it was a messy situation. And I felt so lost. And then my agency had already helped me with some posts, because I was already working with my agency sometimes. They came to me sometimes and they were like, oh, we have this client. I think that's maybe their way of getting new people. And I think it was very smart, because I was already doing some jobs with them, and I was able to see that they were like legit and they would pay me and it works well. So yeah, I think that gave me the confidence to join them. And I think it's the best thing you can do. If you don't have the time to plan things for yourself, I think it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, same. I think there's a misconception that it's good to take out of your head, is that some people think as soon as they join an agency, the work comes.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of people who are starting small and they're like, I need an agency to get the money. Where I think it should be the opposite. I think it should, at least that's what we did.
Yeah.
You start working on your own, and when you feel it's too much to handle, so you already have a lot of work, you get an agency so you can take some work out of your hands, and it starts, you have also protection. When it comes to contracts, they will read it for you. They will prevent you to get into messy situations like the one you're talking about. So I think it should be not like this, and not just thinking that the agency is going to bring you all that work and money, because that's not what happens, unfortunately. Yeah. There's some work that might come because some brands might reach out to the agency and say, like, we want to work with like 10 talents of yours, so bring us 10 girls, whatever. So it might come from the agency, but I would say 99% of the time, brands just still come to you directly, and the agency just takes care of it.
Yeah, I think it's good. You basically have someone that has your back. And usually all the agencies get 20%, right? I think so.
Yeah, mine does. 20. Yeah. I think something in the order of like 20, 30, I don't know. It depends. So yeah, just make sure you're not being robbed. If they ask for 50%, it's not a good one. But other than that, yeah, I recommend having an agency.
Me too.
If it starts being too much for you. But in the beginning, no, just take advantage. Take the 100%. Do it yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
If you have time to reply to the emails,
yeah,
I think
why
for
not?
us, it was because TikTok started also. So then we had suddenly 2 platforms.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And we couldn't manage to write emails on top of that. And now with the podcast, it would be impossible.
It will be impossible. No. No.
What else can we spill?
Oh, there's also like influencer trips and events.
Oh, also another way to earn money.
A brand can ask you to go on a trip with them. You will probably only be allowed to wear their stuff when you're there. No?
Yeah, or at least there's usually a number of deliverables attached to the trip. So imagine 4 or 5 days trip with 3 posts, 2 reels, and stories every day. There's usually like a bunch of deliverables, and they pay for everything during the trip. Flights, accommodation, food, sometimes even what you're gonna wear.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's also a budget.
There's also a budget attached to that. Sometimes don't. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Also, like the gifting that we were talking about, sometimes the trip is so good and you're going to a place that you never went before that it's worth it for you to go with everything paid, even if you're not getting that extra budget. But other times you need to be smart because for brands, sometimes paying for all that is cheaper than paying the content. So sometimes they bring that glamorous thing of you're gonna travel, is everything free, but they are still taking advantage of you. So you need to calculate that and ask for a budget if you feel like it's needed.
For sure.
Because brands have budget. There's a lot of brands with budget. Not the micro ones, of course, the small ones, but like the big ones, they have budget and they will try to rip you off sometimes.
And if you have influencer friends, if you have other people that are working, I think don't be scared of talking money. Like we talk between us, and there's been so many times that I've realized that the same brand was paying differently the both of us.
Yeah, it helps us a lot with deals. And they don't know.
And
so we can just say, ask for more money, and they don't know that we talked about it. But like, we are friends, so of course we do.
Yeah, so like don't get ripped off by a brand. Just, it's stupid.
Now, remember we went on a trip, like an influencer trip, a few years ago, maybe like 2-3 years ago. And back then, I thought that our budget was good. But talking with the girls there, I was like so shocked. Like they had like, I don't know, maybe like half of our followers, and they were asking for more money than us.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, when I get home, I need to talk with my agency.
Yeah, that's true. So don't be scared of like talking money with other fellow influencers.
Because even if you have an agency, they won't set your price for you. It's always your choice, because you can either go like less of the amount you should and have more work, because of course if your rate is low, you're gonna get a bunch of work, which is fair. You can do a lot of work and gain a lot of money because you have all these sponsored posts. And you can also be like, don't want to be ripped off by brands. I'm gonna ask for exactly what I deserve, but you're probably gonna get less work. So it's always a choice. So your agency is not gonna be like have your back on everything.
Yeah, because they're always gonna make their percentage. So
exactly. So it's your choice after all. So back then I remember coming back from that trip and saying to my agency, like, I need to update my rates. I want to update my rates.
Then we also have events. I think when you're invited to an event, sometimes you can be paid, sometimes you can't. Like
mostly it's the same as trips, right?
Yeah,
sometimes it's
the
good to make connections too, which I'm the worst.
Yeah, me too. We're really bad. Sometimes we're like, do people think that we are like super mean? Because sometimes we get invited even on these trips, and then we are always like the two of us talking. I mean, we make friends.
We do. I don't think people think we are mean. I think people think we are boring.
Boring, yeah.
Because we are not all that outgoing.
Like loud people, yeah.
Like loud. We don't join the party like all the way. So yeah, and we are very work driven.
Yeah.
And not all influencers are like that.
No.
I can tell you that from what we seen, which is not bad, not judging, but we are like, we really love the content. So when we go on these trips, it's like such a great opportunity for us to create content. Any trip. That's also a part of our job, I think, because I love traveling and I can't travel without shooting because it's such a great opportunity.
Yeah, so traveling for us is never a relaxing time.
It's never just traveling.
Yeah, never just traveling.
If you see us on an influencer trip, we are working.
We are working even more than when we are here.
Because it's like, I prefer doing like 2-3 outfits per day there than 2-3 per week here.
Yeah, of course.
So of course I'm going to be working. And that might be boring to some people because a lot of people, and it's fair enough, they want to party. They just want to have fun and party on those trips. For us, it's such an opportunity, maybe because we are from a small country that we'll be working.
Yeah.
So we are probably boring.
We are hustlers.
It's fair.
Yeah.
What else can we say? Oh, about we both had this dream of working, we still do, with the luxury brands. I think everyone who loves fashion has that dream, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're a designer, like my degree is in fashion design. So I think if I didn't went to this field of content creation, luxury brands would still be my goal
of
to
course.
get there,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's like a milestone.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, is it all that?
Well, I don't have much experience. I work with a few, but anytime that one of us works with a luxury brand, we start seeing some not as good stuff.
Yeah. Like, for instance, loads of times you have to return the items that you wear.
And you don't do that with other brands.
And they don't do that with other brands. For instance, you need to do a post for a new bag. Sometimes the brand can also send you like an outfit and shoes to go with it. And sometimes you can even keep the bag, but you're going to have to return all of the other outfit.
Yeah.
And maybe you even like shot it on the street and you have to return the shoes.
Yeah,
and,
like shoes.
It's crazy.
I remember the first time that it happened to me, there were shoes involved and I have this thing, I love vintage clothing, but I can't do vintage shoes. I have this weird thing with like shoes that were worn by other people. So when the shoes came in, they were in such a bad state.
Yeah.
I like the word. I remember sending you the pictures.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to work with this brand because it was a luxury brand.
And it was such a huge brand.
Like a huge.
Yeah.
One of the top like Fashion Week thing, like luxury brands. And I was like, what is this? Like, the shoes are disgusting inside. I couldn't like deal with it.
Yeah.
And I had to tell them.
Yeah, and I remember you returned them and they sent you another pair, right?
They sent another pair. Also used, but in a better state. So I put some socks. I put some socks. I wore the shoes with socks to make it work because it was too nasty for me. But yeah, I made it work. But it's not that luxury. You know, it's not
that's
that
the thing. Sometimes like other brands may treat you better. Sometimes.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Maybe some brands that are not as luxury will send you everything in, I don't know, paper bags and everything wrapped up. And it was so messy when I got the package. I was like, what is this?
And sometimes their budget isn't that higher than other brands.
Yeah, it's not. And they are very strict with how they want the content. So sometimes they really want like a plain wall. Yeah. Like shoot on a white wall or a beige wall or whatever.
Like if you were a model, like...
Exactly. They kill a little bit of your creativity comparing to other brands. But we still
want to.
Especially for like Fashion Week and all. We want to get invited to the big shows.
Should we talk about Fashion Week?
We can talk about Fashion Week.
We can talk about so much stuff. Okay, this is going to be the last thing we talk about before our games.
We are talking for a little while now.
Yeah.
We can do this part 2 also.
Yeah.
So Fashion Week.
Fashion Week is a very interesting because we actually don't even quite figure it out yet. Yeah. I don't think so. Like, I don't think we have it 100% figured it out.
We don't. Because we had a bunch of different things. Like, first of all, we never went before. I think we started going like 2 years ago. Yeah. We experienced so many ways of going. There's like contracts where you go with a brand for a specific show.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of people going with no budget, just attending the shows and doing everything, like sending emails asking to be on every show. And there's also people who go with a big budget attached to a big show.
Yeah. That's
the type of deal I want. And that we couldn't get yet.
I think if you want to do Fashion Week, a good thing is just book the trip, book the hotel, and just go. And I think once you are there, invitations come. Maybe not to big things, of course, but like this Paris Fashion Week, we got a lot of invitations to very cool stuff and things that showed up like the week that we were there, like some days before the show.
Yeah, true.
So I think if you really want to do it, I think it's a really good investment in yourself. And yeah, I think you should do it. Also, if you're in an agency, just tell them, look, I'm going to be there for Paris Fashion Week. So maybe like start reaching out to brands, tell them that they're there, because maybe you can't be invited to the show, but there's always like after parties you can go. There's always showrooms. You can make connections there. So I think it's good.
And once again, I think it's harder for us because these type of events, I think, are so much based on just socializing and making contacts. And since we are not that good at it, I think we suffer from it a little bit, because every time that we go to events on Fashion Week or shows, we can see people already know each other, and they have been there for a while. They stay at the event for a while talking, which is so weird to me. Whenever I go there's a lot of events about like presentations where the brand is showing the new collection, and I get there, I see the new collection, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And people stay there for hours talking. I don't know, I don't have the skills. I wish I did. Anytime, like even now when I went to LA, like people have such an ease to them. They are so good making contact. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Because it helps a lot.
It helps.
It helps if you befriend someone like a PR from a brand. On the next big lunch, they will have you in mind. They're like, oh, this girl that I met, I'm gonna send her, even if she doesn't have as much of a following base as we do. But it's on their mind. And I fail on that field. It's one of it's one of the things that it's hard for me. I think everyone is different, and that one is my Achilles heel.
I think it's mine too, actually. And I think maybe I'm a little bit more outgoing than you.
Yeah.
But still, like, there's only as much conversation as you're able to do with a new person. In those scenarios, like, I don't know, sometimes it's so tense to be there. And like, you feel like everyone is judging you, like these big fashion icons, like, I don't know. And then it's hard sometimes. But yeah, don't get discouraged if you're shy. I think you can still make it.
Yeah, of course. I think everything's possible. Like all of us have our faults, are things that are harder for us. And just embrace it. Like for me, I know that's my Achilles heel, but I still go for it. I try to step out of my comfort zone and still go.
Yeah.
I know showing up is not like the best I can do. I could be talking to everyone that I can do, but I will still show up and do my best. At least I know like my content will be my best thing that I can do. That's where I show my value, not in my talking, but like, yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay, it's time to play some games. I know there's stuff that probably we haven't touched on. And if we are forgetting about something, please leave it in the comments. We can try to talk about it on a new episode.
Yeah, you guys also asked us how we take the content, how we get the inspiration, who inspires us fashion-wise. But I think maybe this could be a whole new episode.
Like inspiration and trends, we might touch on that.
Yeah.
We can have a ball here with that subject. So if there's any other things, just let us know.
Yeah. So yeah.
Let's play some games.
It's game time.
Okay, so the game we're gonna play is called For 50K. It rhymes.
It rhymes.
So we play, let's explain this.
Yeah, so when me and Iris are shopping, we always have this game where I see an ugly like t-shirt, I see an ugly dress, whatever, and I'm like, for 50K, would you wear this on a post? And then we have a whole debate.
It's very funny.
It's very
between
funny.
us.
It's very funny.
It's very funny
We
because
have a lot
sometimes
of
it's
laughs.
outrageous, and we are like, okay, I could make this work maybe with some boots. Really go out
And then
there.
sometimes I'm like, but you couldn't put a code over it, and she's like, oh no. It's funny. It's funny.
But 50K is a lot of money, so it allows us to think. 50K is a lot.
So our
let's see.
producer prepared some dilemmas for us, and we're gonna see if we would be doing that for 50K. So yeah, shoot
Let's
us.
start this. She's already laughing. I know on Zoom. Let's go. Rip it off.
So for 50K, Would you do like a reels out on the street?
Okay.
Wearing a lingerie as a going out outfit.
Just lingerie. Just I couldn't wear anything else.
You could put on like a pair of shorts or something, but you would still need to be showing like the thong, you know?
Okay.
Like you couldn't cover the panties. And on top it would have to be just bra.
Could I have like a trench coat open?
No. Just a bra.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I needed to record it in public. 50K.
Yeah, and when I say lingerie, it's like lingerie that's like lace lingerie.
Oh
not
my
like
God.
Mew Mew cutie.
That's such a tough one because first of all, lingerie and bikini is already out of my comfort zone. But at the same time, it's 50K, which is almost like an entire year's salary. It's so good, 50K. I could just bury my head in the sand for the entire year, just hiding from like the awful thing that I did. But I have the check with me.
Yeah.
And also, I think it could be viral. Just imagine like
it
a
would
catwalk.
Be viral, probably.
Right? Catwalk with lingerie with a lot of people just like staring. So I would do it for 50K. Not for less, but for 50K, I would do it.
Very well.
I would wear a coat until I'm there.
Yeah.
And I would remove it very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'll like put on my straight face, doing like catwalk. And then I'll hide. Just pop on the car and hide for the rest of the year. I would tell myself.
You would tell yourself. Fair enough.
All right.
Next one.
For 50K, you need to be in Times Square, so you fly there.
Oh, okay.
Amazing. 50K.
Loving it already.
Right? So the thing is, you know those TikToks with like the days of the week? Monday, Tuesday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You know? Where you show your outfits. But all the outfits would be chicken suits.
Like different ones or the same one? Different chicken? How? You're telling me there are 7 chicken suits?
Obviously.
Okay.
So all the days will be a chicken dressed differently.
No, I wouldn't do it.
It would be viral.
It would be viral, but like not even the type of content that I do, you know?
I think
Who is this girl?
That's why I do anything for money. Because I think it would be so
You
fun.
would do it. You would do it.
Just traveling to New York City and then like joking with my own fashion, doing like every day of the week with different chicken suits. I would tell myself. I know. It's so
Can we do that? Because I still want to go to New York.
If it was a duo, would you do it? Oh my God. I got you. Just don't want to be embarrassed alone. Let's do it. We can split the 50K.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, 25 each.
Yeah.
And we'll go to New York. We could shoot outfits all day.
That's
and
true.
then like 10 minutes, we would put on the chicken suit.
Go as a chicken to dinner.
And no one cares in New York.
That's
so
true.
That's even easier than the lingerie in Porto.
That's a
No
good
one
point.
knows.
I would do it as a duo.
Trying to collect your money. I managed to collect an extra 25K.
Okay, so for 50K and a whole year of your favorite snacks.
Oh my God.
I'm talking
like
Reese's, talking, I don't know,
M&M's.
Pringles. Could also be your favorite ramen.
Oh my God. For free.
For free, for a year. Would you post a reels of you singing in public?
No. Singing in public? Like singing. Like for not joke.
No.
Like trying to sing
Not
for
lip
real.
sync. Singing for real.
Oh my God. My voice is the worst to sing. It doesn't have any context, right? Just me singing randomly.
Yeah.
Because if it was... Okay.
If it was what?
If it was like a snacks brand, because they are giving me free snacks.
No.
And I needed to sing like a jingle.
No, it's like singing Adele.
Snacks. I was
Singing Adele.
singing Adele. No, I could not. I'm just thinking because the money. But I could not.
Yeah. No, me neither. I don't think
Like
so.
a cover.
And it's just so random for us as well.
Right. It'd
Like,
be so out of
why
the
would
blue.
we post that?
And you couldn't even like say like a narrative to your followers, pushing through it,
No.
like getting. You just need to post that.
You would just appear
drop
on their
it.
feed singing.
Just drop it.
Yeah.
Like, I would lose all my followers in one day.
Or you would be discovered.
Just imagine. Could be my opportunity. Okay, no.
Next one.
I wouldn't. Okay, so for 50K plus 1 million followers.
1 million followers.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to go on a boxing match.
Boxing match. Me with my little arms, spaghetti arms.
With another influencer. So Logan Paul style with, those YouTubers that went and did the boxing match. It's like the same for women. They really want to push the boxing matches for women. And you need to do a boxing match with another influencer.
Okay.
Even if you lose, it doesn't matter.
Just a boxing match. Like I wouldn't need to do a post.
Just a
Real.
boxing match.
I would do it.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's a real deal. You need to practice and all.
I would
you
do
can
it.
die.
I would do it. I'm gonna get ripped. I'm gonna get ripped tonight.
Oh my God, I would pay. I would pay to watch that.
It's funny because I have honestly, my arms, guys, I'm so bad. It's really bad. I have zero strength in my arms. And yeah, it would be funny. I would be knocked out
Just
in the first
imagine
second.
like the interviews. So Sophia, how's gonna be tonight? So you're gonna knock out
I'm
the
excited.
other
I'm
influencer?
excited.
I would be your hype woman.
You'd be like with a towel. I'd be like that.
Oh, Sophia, next round you need to kill her.
Okay.
Imagine who would be your enemy on the fight.
I hope she's also very tiny. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So this is promising.
Yeah. Iris. I know you like to change your hair sometimes, right?
I do. I love it.
So, for 50K and a whole year full of beauty products,
Okay.
your favorite ones,
All right.
would you change your hair to neon green and keep it for 6 months?
Yes.
You would?
I would. I was afraid you're gonna say shave my head because I didn't know if I was ready for it. Although I think people rock it. I don't know. But neon green, I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do
Wow.
it.
Okay,
Yeah, I would do
girl.
it. It's cool. Neon green is cool.
No, it's really cool.
And if I had
but
like free
sometimes
beauty
it's hard to
products,
style.
it is. I think all the colors, of course, like black, brown, and blonde is also colors, but they are more like natural for hair. The other artificial ones, I feel they influence a lot on how you style
Yeah.
on an everyday. With neon green, I think I would be more wearing more neutral colors like black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But I would do it. I think neon green is fun. And 50K is a lot. Beauty products are free, so they're probably sending me the color for me to touch up. So I'll do it.
Gosh.
Any beauty brands watching, just 50K, I would do it.
50K.
It would be
Yeah.
so cool.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Wow. Learning a lot here today.
Okay, so this is the last one. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
For 50K,
Mm.
you would be first row at the Miu Miu show.
Okay.
Okay. But they won't dress you. You need to be dressed head to toe in Shein.
Shein. Oh no.
Shein is sponsoring this.
Oh no.
They want to place themselves more towards the luxury side. So they want an influencer on the front row of Miu Miu, head to toe dressed in Shein. And they pay 50K.
I'm gonna sell my soul. Oh no.
I broke her.
I'm broken. I think I would do it.
You would?
Because they have Shein is awful, very tacky, but I'm sure I would be able to find something and make it work.
True.
Maybe I could still wear my shoes.
I said head to toe.
Oh no!
He's trying to get the Miu Miu boots mixed with Shein
the Miu Miu
clothes.
boots and a Miu Miu bag, and then Shein clothes.
You can have the Miu Miu bag.
I can have the Miu Miu
Not
bag,
the shoes.
not the shoes. I think I would do it. It's a lot of money,
It's a lot
and
of
I
money.
would be front row at Miu Miu, as I always dreamed of. I think I would just pick a very, very low key outfit, so no one would notice me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, a black leather jacket.
And there's also probably hate, because anytime like an influencer works with Shein now, she's like, because of all the sustainability thing.
Yeah.
So there's also that to consider.
Oh, I would need to do a post?
No.
Just be there.
Just be there.
So people wouldn't know that I was with Shein.
Oh, Shein can promote it, right? Like we had.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I would do it, yeah. If I had to do a post tagging Shein at the Miu Miu show, I don't think I would. I wouldn't promote it.
Okay.
I would do it because, it would be a way of like doing a dream of mine that is going to the Miu Miu show. Plus getting paid. So yeah, I would deal with wearing stuff that is bad quality, probably awful. Yeah. But if I had to promote it, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't promote the brand because you don't believe in it.
Yeah.
All right, it's a wrap for the 50K.
Hard one. Wow.
I love it. It's easier when we're at the mall because it's only like pieces.
Yeah.
Here it was something a little bit more complicated, but it was fun and we learned a lot about how money is important.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, it's the end of the episode. We talked a lot today. Hope you guys liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time for ping pong time.
Ping pong time. It's our favorite time.
It's my turn, right?
It's your turn.
Oh my gosh. I think I want one from the bottom. Let's see what we have here. Fears. Oh,
interesting. Interesting.
Okay, this can be very deep, or it can be more like I don't know, like spiders and other types of fear. It can also be like very intimate. So
yeah, we're gonna have to work on this one
and ask you guys for your fears
always.
So
yeah, keep an eye on our stories. Also, we have an Instagram page. I don't know if you guys have noticed already. Sometimes we also upload there and ask for you guys' opinion there. So yeah, check us out.
Go follow our IG page and also our TikTok.
Yeah.
We post clips of the podcast in case you missed like a big episode. You can catch some bits there.
Mm-hmm.
And subscribe to our channel.
Thank you so much for watching us. We love you.
Love you. See you next Monday.
next week. Bye.